Morning guys, it is Thursday morning and in a couple of days I'm back off again onto the road, heading to the Masai Mara to host with Mark Dumbleton another great migration photo safari at the Wildlife Mara camp. Andrew's up there right now on I think week 3, and yeah, some amazing stuff coming through. We're getting the updates all the time. They're having a bit of communication issues up there. I know the signal at the campsite they are using is not fantastic, but Andrew just sent me through some images. Let me show you some of these. Where are we? Mara update. These are just some of the images. Now, specifically not going for the big migration shots, just the kind of the shots that complete the story. It's not always about the hero shots. I did a blog post on that earlier on this week. It's not just about those hero shots in wildlife. You need to tell the story. So here's some of Andrew's images that he sent through for us. Some cheetahs. One of the guests, I think this is probably during one of the lunch breaks, having a bit of a go at, I'm guessing, polarizing those clouds. I mean, if you haven't been up there, the landscapes are just insane. Hippos and crossings, they're crossing. Wildebeest. Often these hippos, poor things, they're in the river, wildebeest comes crashing through, hippo thinks, oh shit, now what, get out the way. Every now and then you do get a bit of nice interaction, but yeah, shots like this very possible. Lions on a kill. Standard thing all over the place, but in the Mara it's quite a nice thing just to see how they form a part of that ecosystem. And also, yeah, big boy. Now, what Andrew's got is he sent me all these images with a little bit of a description of each. And I'm going to be posting that on the blog later this morning, along with all his descriptions. So yeah, pop in for that and have a look at the stories behind the images. Also, while we're on the blog, let me find this for you here. This blog post has just gone live. Use your local training ground. In this, one of our ambassadors, Morkel Erasmus, has a look at, we all can't get to the field all the time. So what do? Do you just pack your camera away for that time? No, you go to where you can. Local training ground. So in this, Morkel carry on in a good way, Morkel. I like it. He writes about bird photography and how you can use your local areas around you to improve your wildlife photography skills. Metering, tracking, all these things you can do. Morkel's blog gives you some details on it. Bird photographer, wildlife photographer, landscape photographer, always very different in what we look for and how we approach things. But Morkel does a very nice write-up on what to look for. So go and check that out on the blog. I also have another couple of images coming onto the blog, so there's a lot happening. Go and check it out. Now, before I quickly wrap up a few other things, this image you see on screen right now, this is a polar bear that we are looking at. I don't think this is the right one actually. Hang on for me 1 second, because we had a wildlife photography course this last weekend. I think this is the one, and this is one of the raw files that we work on. Now sorry, not wildlife photography, Lightroom. It's early and I'm having coffee. In the Lightroom course, I give the guys a whole bunch of raw files, and then once they've learned all the skills and tool sets that Lightroom offers, we work through them. So I gave them this one as homework to process and send back to me just to see what we can do. Now, as with photography, there's no right or wrong. It's literally your version of when it comes to processing, but the goal is, in my opinion, with regards to wildlife, to always do it as naturally as possible. We are capturing nature, you want to present it naturally. So, what we've done is, I've received some of them back. This is the raw file. I'm going to have a crack at this now. Here are some of the ones, let me just find this for you, that the guys sent back. Right, so Gavin went for a more black and white type of image. The look and feel obviously the same. It's the same polar bear, whole different mood when you change to black and white. Rene here gave us a nice, pretty decent version of that golden light, the soft light. One thing here, Rene, is I think you brushed something here. I see a bit of a white popping here and on the top. So maybe just check that brush. We had a lot of work on the brushes and stuff. So I think just one missed brush stroke, otherwise very nice. I like this. The idea for me, and I'm going to talk when I do mine now, is to keep it natural and to kind of keep going with the vision you had of why you picked up your camera. So nice golden light feel over here. Jackie sent through this one. I like the detail Jackie got back in the face here from the raw file. Bit of a blue tinge on this bear. I'm not sure what happened here, but it could be a brush or it could just be a white balance issue. We can look at that. And then I asked Penny, who did the course with me, to give me. She went very natural, kept it as plain and possible as you can imagine. So that's the one I got. I know some of the other guys are traveling. If I get them, we might stick them in other videos. But let's have a look at, while we're talking bears and Lightroom. So this is your original raw file. Now, one thing I pick up immediately, and this is a pet hate. Number one, skew horizons, horrible. Number two, dust spots. There's no dust spots in the sky here, but look at this. Right in the middle of this bear, there's this dust spot that sits right there. If we have a look at all of these, check this dust spot in the middle. Oops, don't think anybody actually picked that one up. Now, one of the nice new features in Lightroom 5, which I'm loving, is the Visualize Spots feature, where you can actually ask Lightroom to show you those spots. You can either go up to your clone tool up here, or you can hit Q, which takes you into the clone and heal tool, spot removal tool, official name. Then at the bottom of the screen, when you open into that menu, you get the Visualize Spots menu at the bottom of your screen. If you click on that, it gives you a black and white version of your image, not black and white, it gives you that version of your image. You can then take this slider and move it up and down. And what Lightroom then does is it masks the edges. Look at that dust spot, it shows me exactly. So you can very easily pick up in your images if there are any dust spots that should not be there. Normally we'll pick them up in the sky in the bright areas, in this case on my polar bear. I can now remove that right away. Click there, done. I can take my Visualize Spots off just to view it. I am happy. Now my dust spot is gone. Very annoying little thing that. Alright, for me, how I would process this image. As always, let's fly through this. Enable profile corrections, I'll just leave those on always. Basic, I set my black point and my white point first. Remember, I do that by holding shift and double clicking on white and black. Now, from there, I'll probably bring a bit of my shadows back because I don't want to overshoot the darks in the scene. I'm going to talk about that now. Exposure maybe up a little bit. Alright, let's do a before and after over there. So far, so good. You can see there's some detail on the face, but I've still got the bright and there are bits of colors coming through as well. Now, we spoke about this during lunch on our Lightroom course, is when you, and I've done blog posts on this as well, go check the blog. When you pick up your camera to photograph something, I ask you, what are you photographing? The answer is not the polar bear. It's obvious, that's the stupid answer. What you want to look for is, why am I drawn to this scene? In this case, it was the wonderful soft halo of golden light, for lack of a better term, around this bear that made it work. So, you then are going to focus on how to shoot that. You're going to meter off the bear, you're going to expose for the scene and so on. When you get to your processing, keep the original vision in mind, because by following through your vision from the point you pick up your camera to now, you can only get stronger images. So, the things I've done so far for me is basic. That is just every single image will get something like that. Now, clarity, we discussed this on the course as well, is should I take my clarity up, which gives it a harder feeling, looks nice, or do I drop it down a bit, which gives it more of a dreamlike soft feeling, like that? I'm going to be inclined on this image to drop it down a bit because the whole scene, golden light, it's almost like an angelic light glow happening. So instead of removing or minimizing that effect by taking the clarity up, I'd rather drop it down a bit and try and keep that golden, it's not even golden, that soft light around the bear. Right? White balance, I'm going to take up just a little bit to punch those oranges, not the oranges, the warmth a little bit, and I'm happy there. Obviously now sharpening and stuff I would go and do as well. So if we look at a before and after, that's where I would probably end up on. Very close to some of the other ones the guy sent in. Obviously mine is one dust spot, but when you're processing wildlife, think of it like that. Look at why you picked up your camera initially. It's not because you wanted to photograph the bear, there's something more, think deeper. There's an artistic approach to it. That's what you need to find. Anyway, so that's the polar bear, that's Lightroom. And like I said, it's Thursday morning. In a couple of days I'm off to the Masai Mara. I cannot wait because there's some very nice sightings and apparently the herds are moving in. So if you're on with the week, try that again, if you're joining me in the Mara next week, it promises to be a hell of a ride because there's a lot of action happening. Oh, then before I go, check this little guy out. I hope that's on the right spot, check that. That is a Fujifilm E-X1. Little, what do we call these? Prosumer. It's got an interchangeable lens to take this on and off. But this got dropped off. Fujifilm contacted me and asked, can I do a review on this little guy for them? Got dropped off yesterday. I've had a bit of a look at it. Initial look and feel, awesome. It's quite heavy for its size, which I like. I like to feel like I'm holding something proper. And I love the retro look on this thing. It shoots RAW, it's 16.5 megapixels. This is going with me to the Mara to have a look at and to do a bit of a review on. So on the live content which I'll be sharing from the Mara, and you can find those on my Instagram page, both my personal Facebook photography page and the Wildlife Facebook page, and of course my Twitter feed. I might include some details of this little guy as well. Also, when I'm back, I'll do a full review on it. So far, I'm liking it. Very, very cool. And yeah, looking forward to playing with this. That flash is very Star Wars. It's like R2-D2. Check it out. Yeah, very cool. So, thanks to Fujifilm. Gonna have nice fun playing with that one. And yeah, full reviews on that coming afterwards. What I like about the reviews, and Canon does the same thing, is when they give us product to play with, it's not, can you please tell people how great this camera is, because it doesn't work like that. It is, there's the product, tell everybody what you think. That is confidence in your brand. So far, initial impressions, like I said, great stuff. But yeah, keep track of future blog posts for more information on that. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up because I've got a whole bunch of things to get done today. I'm hoping not to get into the office tomorrow because I've got to go and do shopping before the trip, and there's all kinds of competitions this weekend, but that's a different story. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. I am going to try and post live videos from the Mara as well, like I did from my big cats and tuskers, to give you guys an idea and a feel of what it is like to be on a photo safari in the Masai Mara. Also then the blog post and so on. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, head on over to the Photo Chat blog on the Wild Eye site. I'll have all the social media links where you can follow along on there. Otherwise, I will chat to you guys on the road, and next video from the office in about 2 weeks' time from now. Thanks for joining. My name is Gerry. This is the Wild Eye Photo Chat. I will catch you all on the other side. Bye-bye.